Here, welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. It's Priestess and Medium Rosalind. I'm here, and you see the title, right? Kind of an interesting title, huh? Um, well, let me tell you a little bit about myself, especially those that are newer and you don't know very much about me or you haven't been to my website. I am shamanically trained. I have also used a lot of channeling and drum journeying to see more information about what's going on with people that I help. Um, I also do a lot of rituals, root work, conjure things that our ancestors have done, for so many years since they were first here on the earth plane. Um, I want you to know, you can just be comfortable with me. I'm not a judgmental person because we go through so many things trying to understand, our journey here, our life, situations, relationships, and of course, some of us, even when we were children, we were wondering why we felt like we knew more, we felt more, maybe you experienced more, you know. So I want you to know you can leave comments. You can view the information below. Check out my website. Anything that's really inappropriate or gross or whatever is going to be deleted. So be mindful of how you're sharing because you're sharing your thoughts and energy with so many people, right? Okay. So I want you to know that I do get all kinds of questions during readings, right? And what goes on is it's like people can open up more and understand that they might have questions and need healing, and insight and guidance on something. And they'll find out others do too. It's kind of like finding your tribe or being comfortable in your tribe. So there are some of us that when we came into this life, we literally had a feeling, a sense during our childhood that we were understanding more, maybe understanding more than kids your age. You might have even had a family where your parents, they may have made it like um, you were somehow able to have the space and you felt that you had the space to kind of look at what they were doing and other people that were older than you, and you might have wondered, well, how come I can understand all of this? You might have had a really good sense of understanding even though you were a little child, okay? These are certain types of indicators, okay? You might have even been fortunate and had mother, father, aunts or uncles, grandparents that spoke about your actual history, your generational kind of thing, where, yeah, great grandma, she could do this, and she could actually get a psychic dream when something was about to happen, or she would say, I had a feeling, or she would literally, maybe she was literally able to say, I think something's going to happen. And it might not have even been anything bad. It might have been, I think something's going to happen to this person in the family. Maybe your father knew that he had to go along and move or go to a different location for work. Maybe he understood the whole thing with being a provider, but he had an intuitive sense of when to do it, when to move on, when to stake a claim somewhere else to make more money. I mean, all of these are things that we channel in, we download them. Okay. So you might be thinking that your sense of intuition was basic or normal, or maybe you realized even when you were a child that it was standing out. When I was a child, okay, I actually used to have dreams and visions of different things happening, and I did not know why I was even, you know, attaching to that. I didn't even know why I was tuning into that. Some of these things would happen in school. Okay, some of these things would happen during dreams. Um, for example, I'll give you an example. Because usually, if it is ancestral, generational, it's already there in your bloodline. Like, I'm actually talking your DNA. Like, your generational, your bloodline. If it's happening that way, there will be different things going on, and you can probably relate to what I'm talking about even more. Okay. I actually dreamt about something that was very clear, very bright. We were all going to someone's home, and the home was filling up with people as more and more people parking in the driveway, coming in. They were carrying these pots, like everybody had made something that they had cooked, and they were bringing in things, talking to one another. And in the dream, I walked into, I think it was the living room, and I saw this big aquarium, and it was empty. It was on the floor. Instead of setting up with water in it and fish in it, it was setting on the floor. It was tall, it was deep, long enough. And I kept saying, it's empty. It looks like it's big enough for a body to go in there. So in the dream, I'm like, why are all these people coming? Why are they bringing all this food? Why are we all getting together and this big empty aquarium is here? And it looks like it's big enough for a body. So I woke up, I didn't fully understand it, but I know that I have these gifts, and, I knew that my family members, they do, even though they don't really talk about it that much. But a few days later, my uncle, he was basically found, you know, deceased, and he was young. He was young. He was only about 40 years old. Okay. He was only about 40 years old, and, it was sudden. It was like a shock to everybody. His health was not the best, but he was vibrant, always all over the place, very talkative, very lively. And it was a sudden death because of what he did. Okay. That is something that, I still think about that because it was brought to me to know, okay, or to have a preparation to get ready because this is about to happen. For you, it might be that when you're around certain people, you start to tingle, you start to get a feeling. Some of you are claircognizant, where you get a sense of knowing, and you might not be clairaudient, where you're hearing things or you're hearing, loved ones talk to you. You may not have that, but you may have a sense of knowing, claircognizance, where it's like you're assessing, how on some of the movies where the characters, they kind of assess that, like on the Terminator and everything. They're already making this assessment and they zero in on something and you kind of know it already. Okay. um it's almost like that feeling. So it may be resonating with you in a different way. Okay. And you may have picked up on the fact that other people in your family did pass that down to you, even though they didn't verbally talk about it all the time because of, some people, they just feel, even because they're Christian, that they can't talk about this all the time. Some people, that's enough. That, they feel they can't be open about it. I'm also, while I'm sitting here, I'm hearing talk about the life path. Talk about the life path. So when you think about this, right, your life path and what you decide to do and how you decide to live, how you decide to marry, what you teach your children, or if you decide maybe you're going to go the single route because of it, because it takes up a bigger part of your life, or you felt different enough to stay single, and just kind of, how did it affect you? How does it all play out in your life now? It's really, really something that I think you should acknowledge. Okay. And maybe it's something that if you find out more about it and you ask more questions, especially from elders in your family, maybe it will put together some puzzle pieces in your mind that will help you to feel more balanced, more healed. It's like spiritual nutrition. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm also hearing let go of your ego. Let go of your ego. Don't try to judge every single part of this. Don't think that others haven't went through the same things as you. Okay, because when we start to separate ourselves in these little, in these little pegs and round holes, it's like, okay, how can you be that much different than other human beings? There's probably other people who have experienced some of the same things in your life with these gifts and with knowing and being clairaudient and understanding, even like spirits in the home, ghosts in the home. That is the way some of us start out learning that we actually do have that ability and that gift that was passed down. You can't be so isolated and so different than everybody else. So when we start to look at things in terms of ego, then that is when we create a lot of loneliness and a lot of I don't fit in anywhere. That's where a lot of that comes from with spiritual folk like us, right? Because I'm thinking if you're watching this, you might be resonating with that title, and that's why you stopped in. So it's no coincidence, right? I just wanted to give you, that boost of hope, that boost of encouragement, and let you know I'm here. We can keep working on our soul family. That's why I call this my soul family. Okay? Because we need to know we're not alone. We're creators, we have gifts. We need healing sometimes. Do we get to these roadblocks where we might, understand, well, yeah, that'll make me different if I talk about my gifts. That'll make me stand out. Yeah, that happens. But I've also had some people, they talk to me like, I'm so glad that I talked to you 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I'm so glad we were on this path together, 8 years ago. I'm so glad because I understand that it's okay. I can let that fear and that blockage stuff, I can let it go. I can just kind of, let it go and transmute it to something better. Transmuting it to healing, letting it go for something better, letting it be what it is, letting yourself be who you are. Okay, not wearing that mask all the time. And I do understand, I understand being safe and I understand not wanting every single person to know, right? But some of us, we do need to stand in our light. We need to stand in our gifts. We really do, because that is what's going to make things move and be in that better, more high vibration space, the space of recovery, the space of healing, okay? The space of love and self-love and self-care. Okay? We need that. We need that. So, what are some of the things you can do? Okay? Practical things for your spiritual self coming from your bloodline where there's this one and that one and this one and that one that had these same gifts. What can you do? So I'm going to talk about that for a couple minutes before I wrap up. Um, Spiritual baths are very important, right? Because there are certain roots and herbs, certain vibrations and frequency that those roots and herbs that came from our highest divine creator, from Mother, Father, God, they came, the plants, they actually made a pact with us humans to help us. So when we eat the good plants, veggies, okay, fruits, when we bathe in them, when we utilize them in our essential oils and things, that is how they help us heal. Okay, and a lot of medicines are made from plants. Did you realize that? Yeah. Another thing we can do is look into it, talk about it, research it, connect with others. Okay, that helps, especially if you're having anxiety about it. Another thing we can do is start seeing our experiences as a mode of healing and what we needed, instead of looking at our experiences and saying, boy, I was victimized by this whole spiritual thing. I was victimized. I was called a witch. Yeah. Some of us have been. Some of us have been made fun of. Some of us have been called a witch. Some of us have been black sheeped by our family. But we can start to really openly look at it as a stage of healing that we actually needed. okay? Part is like one of those puzzle pieces that you needed, okay? Wow. What else is it? Okay. Yeah, I'm also getting this connection that nature is there for you. Some of you need to know that you need to be out in nature. Walking barefoot? Yeah, sometimes, yep. Being out in the early mornings with that sunlight, the day starting. You know, in ancient times, that's the only way people moved is when the daylight was out. Okay, when the sun is coming up, they knew it's time to start their day. Those things are huge, huge things. Okay. Also, knowing about safety, danger, knowing when danger is near, getting a vibe, getting a sixth sense, getting a feeling about it. All of those things are important. So, you have this gift for a reason. You have this gift for a reason, okay? I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you are able to take time and look at some of the videos that I've been doing lately. Also, I want you all to know that I'm mixing in these different topics. I just did one on the size, you know, all different types of sizes in our life, in our society. Does it really matter? In our relationship, does it really matter? Okay, I just did that one. And I want you to know I'm going to be bringing in these different topics to talk about, right? Because we need it. It's there for us, right? It's there for us to not only experience the problem, but to have the help. Okay? All right. All right. I've enjoyed speaking to you all. Okay? I'll talk to you soon. Bye.